Hi friends, welcome to today's Friday devotional. Do you ever have a little bit of an overwhelming feeling, maybe at this point in the year? I mean, we're in the second week of January, but it still can feel like you started out with some really good intentions for changing and shifting your routine, but you already feel like you're a little bit overwhelmed. Maybe you started some Bible reading or been more intentional with the time you are not watching TV at night, or whatever the case may be. Or maybe you just want to dig in a little bit deeper and aren't really sure where to start and want to be a bit more intentional with your time with the Lord. That is often a very typical thing to have happen, or a typical thing that we can feel. And one thing that I want to encourage us with today is to not be overwhelmed and think we have to keep doing and gaining more wisdom, or reading more books, or just achieving more, because that can be my tendency. I don't know about you, but it can be for me. And so I want to encourage you today to take a passage, say for instance, even the Lord's Prayer, or Matthew chapter 5, where Jesus goes through the Beatitudes, the blessed are those, those ones, and take them line by line, slow down with them, respond to them. Maybe you have a journal, or maybe you type it out on your phone. Take those line by line and just respond to them and say, God, what do I need to see here? What do I need to know? Maybe you don't understand the words. Like one of my kids this morning, my son Zane was memorizing his verse for this week, and it's one of the Beatitudes. And we had a discussion about what persecution was, because for a little kid that might seem hard to wrap your head around. And even for me, myself as an adult, it can be kind of overwhelming. But if we think we have to know everything, that's often when we get into trouble. So I hope this is an encouragement and even a practical way to approach finding a new rhythm, a new system of even just meeting with God, and just take those sections of scripture that may be familiar. Maybe you've heard them lots of times. Maybe the Lord's Prayer is something you can recite off the top of your head, but maybe it's a time and a space for God to invite you to slow down and take one line at a time, and just intentionally offer up to Him and ask Him to show you clearly what you need to see today. So I'm going to close our time today by reading the Lord's Prayer in Matthew 6, starting in verse 9. This then is how you should pray. Our Father in heaven, hallowed be your name. Your kingdom come, your will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread. Forgive us our debts, as we also have forgiven our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from the evil one. Hopefully that gives you a place to start today. Maybe it's something that can kickstart a new journey for you, that you take the time to slow down when you're reading scripture and not just assume that you know what it says. Because sometimes those words that we often know, words like even kingdom and forgiveness, maybe they're worth taking a second look, but we won't really know unless God invites us, unless we go to God and ask what He's inviting us into, what He's asking us to see, what He's asking us to dig into. So that is what I have for us today, friends. Blessings to you this weekend as you go forward, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.